Mr. Toney and his interview. Yeah. I'll be honest. I watched the interview.
I don't think it helped him.
I don't think it helped him at all. There wasn't that much in it. It wasn't a great interview.
Ignorance is not a justifiable excuse. I'm sorry.
I think he made some good points around consistency and stuff, but some of this, I didn't know you couldn't bet. It's a great area. Mate, we've seen Joey.
They never told me I couldn't bet. They just told me what experience they had. That's not good enough.
Yeah, but we've seen how many players get done for betting.
Come on.
Sturridge, Barton. There's probably even players Trippier. There's even players we don't even know about that they would have heard about in the game. He just didn't make the news. I just don't think he's helped himself. I'd be interested to see I'd love to know if Brentford had seen that recording before I went out. I think he said some stuff that Brentford may not be happy with entirely. Okay. Talking very freely about moving to other clubs, the clubs he likes. It was a really weird interview, man.
He probably would have got permission from them for the interview, innit? But I don't know if they probably wouldn't have seen it before.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to watch it?
I've watched some of it. I've seen like the quotes about Liverpool and Arsenal that he was saying. I was very surprised to see that. I
mean, those clips were taken. I don't know. You saw most of it. I don't know. It was taken a little bit out of context.
Which
the
Arsenal Liverpool one. The way they cut it together, it seemed like he was just basically saying, "I want to go to Arsenal," but that's not how the convo went.
I mean, Stephen asked him about potential career progression and where you see your career going, and then threw out kind of like leading I know you're a Liverpool fan,
exactly.
Who else? And then he was just like, I'm a Liverpool fan, but when I was growing up, pretty much like most black men,
I like the way Arsenal play.
I like the way Arsenal play. So those are the kind of clubs I look at.
I would have preferred if the conversation led with the betting thing, and then it kind of like they kind of glossed over his career, how he got to where he is, and it was like, okay, what about the betting now? Well, I think
that's content 101 though. If I give you all of that at the beginning, average watching time goes up by 10 minutes.
Yeah, I get it. Bartlett knows what he's doing. I can understand. But I think if it was just an hour around the whole betting thing and his answers were a little bit, well, I don't want to say rehearsed, but he was just like, I didn't make it public because I didn't want my mum to know I was betting.
Oh, yeah, get out.
And things like that. I was like...
Not even that, no. That said he was using someone else to bet because he didn't want his parents the letters to come home. And then Stephen Bartlett said to him, you're 27. You're 27. Why is your mum in your post? Oh, no, when I was away, when I was away. It just felt like he wanted to get his side of the story out there, and Stephen Bartlett was a safer version of Piers Morgan.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it felt like. I'm going to do a bit of a rollout. And I don't think it's helped him in any way. I don't think it's helped anyone see his side of the story. And actually, Keith, to your point, I think they need to talk more about does it even matter at this point? Well, to him it matters, and I can understand why. If you feel like, the media telling your story for you might want to get that out. But even the betting addiction bit, they didn't really talk about.
Yeah, they glossed over it. And I think it would have helped other people who may be in that situation, and even non-professionals. Because like he was saying that he could bet, but he knew he was getting paid in a week's time to cover it, where there's people out there who are betting
and their kids
and they're not getting that money back to the level.
And I think Bartlett, whilst not his biggest fan as an interviewer, he did try. He tried to say, what about your mental health? Well, I'm not a big
What did he say? The actual punishment? Did he say anything about? Does he feel that the punishment was wrong, or does he feel slighted in any way?
It was a bit of a mixed message. He felt like it was excessive compared to other people who had done it, especially those in the lower leagues. But you're in a high-profile league, you're in the Prem. They were going to hit you harder. But I think that's one of the fairer points he made. That actually, if you look at some of the other things that people did, I remember saying to people, he's going to get hit with a book. They were telling me, well, no, look at this person. He did so many bets and only got so long. And I was like, I just had a feeling they were taking so long that they were going to hit him with everything they could. And they were going to give him a 12-month ban. And then the commission said, no, they wanted to give him a 15-month ban.
Wow.
But because he pled guilty and the gambling addiction diagnosis, they reduced it.
Yeah, his main gripe was, though, the time from when it got
leaked,
announced, or leaked, so to speak, to the time they made the decision.
Yes,
he said that process
was a long time.
He said it was interesting, and that was around the time the World Cup squad was being picked. So everyone finds out about it. That so you don't do anything until the end of the season.
He couldn't get in the squad.
So I think he made some salient points there. But that interview would have been more useful if they had actually touched on I don't want to say the meaningful things, but the underlying factors, as you say, the gambling, the gambling addiction,
how it
some of the message, how often were you betting? What kind of things were you doing? Why were you betting? I don't think they delved deep enough. He tried to ask, but a
couple of times he kind of small signals to move on.
But Tony wasn't.
To be fair, he's not. He didn't seem quite open in it. Like even though he wanted to have a conversation, it was like a conversation on my terms, kind of thing. Where it needed to be. I feel it needed to be quite raw. It might be too soon for him. It might happen in the future, but it still, it wasn't raw enough in terms of the whole.
And there was a little bit of thing. There was a little bit of I got to go back to work in a month's time, innit? Because he could train from September.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of that as well.
I like his confidence though, because he's like, I'm coming back and shelling.
Yeah.
I like
but you can see that in him as a player on the pitch.
Back in the team.
But he's always spoken
but the way he's thinking, he's thinking, I'm getting Euros. Like he's not even training yet, and he's which I liked.
He's any interview I've seen with him, he's always spoken like that. Right?
Yeah,
ultimate belief in his ability.
Yeah. Well, he even says in that playoff final, that penalty, everyone's like, "Oh, the pressure, blah blah." Yeah. I said, "No, I was scoring that penalty. I knew I was scoring that penalty." And I respect that level of confidence. But yeah, as an interview, in terms of digging into the issues, maybe understanding some motivations or seeing some contrition for himself, etc., it just didn't really hit the spot. He raised a couple of good points, but I agree with Isaac. I think it's done more harm than good, if you ask me. But then if he's back playing and Brentford don't say anything, then what harm has it done at all?